presented by Good Charlie Energy. I am Dr. Stickney, and I am glad that you are joining us today. In the next 30 minutes, we are going to talk about things that are going on in the world of Spay-Neuter Network, and we are going to answer some of your questions that you present to me live. I also have some questions that have been sent in to me that we will discuss as well, and we will talk about things that we need to do in order to keep our dogs and cats, our beloved companions, healthy and safe, and to make it so they can live the best lives that they possibly can. So it is still triple digits here in San Antonio, where I am located at, but pretty soon the weather is going to be changing. You may want to go to Good Charlie Energy's website, and you can see that website here on our Facebook page. Go there, check them out, and see if they offer their services in the area that you are located at. With the weather changing, and if you are looking at ways to maybe save some money and reevaluate your energy plan, they may have something that you're looking for. And one of the great things with Good Charlie Energy is that they will make a donation to organizations that take care of pets, such as Spay-Neuter Network, every time you pay your bill. So they are a great partner for us, and if that's something you want to check out, I would encourage you to do so. Speaking of making donations and doing things that can help pets, there are a couple of really big donation charity events going on in Texas right now, and those include the North Texas Giving Day as well as the Big Give. So North Texas Giving Day giving is open now. The main day is September 18th, but you can already go ahead and make your donations there, and you can support us here at Spay-Neuter Network, and if your donation will go toward our new mobile clinic. And that is going to be a vehicle that we are able to take out into the community and perform spays and neuters there, and provide the wellness services that your pets need in a way that will make it so that you don't have to come to us. We will be able to come to you, to a neighborhood near you, and that will be a great thing for you, and it'll be a great thing for us to be able to do. So you can go ahead and make your donations, and we will match your gift up to $50,000. So that would be a great way to support Spay-Neuter Network and to support our mission, and to make it so that we can take better care, more care of all of the pets here in Texas. The other big event going on is the Big Give. Giving days run September 17 and 18, but early giving will start on September 10. So again, you can go ahead and get that done while you're thinking about it. And your gift to the Big Give will help support our San Antonio clinic. We are so busy here every day. We are doing so many surgeries and seeing so many people and their pets, and being able to do so many things to help them and help those animals. So if you are able to donate in the Big Give, you'll be helping us here in San Antonio, and your gift will be matched up to $10,000 here in San Antonio. So that would be another wonderful way that you could support Spay-Neuter Network and our mission. September is Responsible Dog Ownership Month. So what does that mean, Responsible Dog Ownership Month? Well, it's a time when we can just give some thought to what it is that we need to be doing for our four-legged barking friends, our pets, that will let them live the best life that they possibly can. And the most basic responsible pet ownership things are food, water, and shelter, right? So we need our animals to have a nice place where they can live, someplace cool that they can get out of the sun, someplace warm if it gets chilly, someplace they can get out of the rain. We need to make sure that they are eating a good, high-quality food, and that they have access to water all the time. The other things that we can do to be good, responsible pet owners are providing them with the basic wellness care that they need, making sure that their vaccinations are up to date, making sure that they are on heartworm prevention so that they don't contract heartworm disease from a mosquito bite, making sure that they are on flea and tick prevention so that they are not covered in itchy parasites that can also spread disease and can also bite us as well. So things like vaccines, things like heartworm prevention, heartworm testing, and flea and tick prevention are all things that we do at Spay Neuter Network. We work very, very hard to make sure that those things are as affordable as possible so that we can reach as many people as possible. Everybody deserves to have a pet if they want to have a pet. And we want to make it so that you are able to take the best care of that pet that you possibly can. To that end, we have some upcoming free vaccine clinics that Spay Neuter Network is doing. All of our vaccine clinics our free clinics have free parvo distemper vaccines for dogs and free FVRCP combo vaccines for cats. We also will provide more other vaccines at a very low cost. And if you want to take advantage of those free vaccine clinics, tonight, Wednesday, September 3rd, we will be at Chuck Silcox Animal Care and Control Center at 6 o'clock for that. And then throughout the rest of this month here in San Antonio, in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Garland, we will also be having some of our free vaccine clinics. Go to our website, spayneuternet.org, to see all of the details about when those will be and where we will be located at, and the hours that will be available. You can also check that out on our Facebook page as well. So, and I would just remind everybody that I'm going to talk about some dates and things going on. You don't have to be jotting it down. You can always go to our website at spayneuternet.org or onto our Facebook page, and you'll be able to find all of that information. So, free vaccine clinics for our dogs and our cats. Helping us to be responsible pet owners for them, and then we can also provide heartworm prevention and flea and tick control. And another thing that we do at Spay Neuter Network that is so important, especially if your pet goes outside and has the potential to get lost, is we do microchips. And microchipping your pet is the most effective way of finding your animal, finding your pet, and getting it returned to you if it is lost. That microchip is tied in directly to you if you register it, so that if that pet is scanned, the people that scan it will be able to find your information and give you a call and say, hey, we have your pet, come and get your pet. Otherwise, it's kind of like looking for a needle in the haystack. Where is the dog? Did it get picked up? Is it at a shelter? Which shelter? It can be a real challenge to find a lost pet. So microchipping is something that we do. It's very, very simple and is one of the best things that you can do to keep track of your pet should it get lost. Okay, we are going to be at 10 Bells Tavern on Thursday, September 18 from 4 to 7 o'clock to celebrate North Texas Giving Day and our $100,000 campaign for a new mobile clinic. If you meet us there, you'll be able to meet members of our team, hear stories about what we do and how we do it when we're on the road, and learn how your support will change the lives of pets and the people that own those pets. We would love to see you out there. That'll be on Thursday, September 18 at 10 Bells Tavern to celebrate North Texas Giving Day. And that is going to be a great time to visit with us and see exactly how any donations, any support that you give us will make a tremendous difference in our mission and pets and in people as well. Okay, so that covers our announcements for the moment. So let's see what kind of questions we have. Right now, let's see, none have come in live yet, so we've got some that have been sent in ahead of time, so let's take a look at some of those and see what we have. Okay, so Jenna writes in and asks the question, are candles safe around cats? I just got a kitten and miss using them. Are some types non-toxic or should I avoid them altogether? Any safety tips? Okay, great question, Jenna. I love candles too. I have a cat. I light candles every night. So the answer is yes, you can have your candles. There are a few things that you need to keep in mind with your candles. Is that sometimes some strong scents will bother your cat. So if you notice them sneezing or coughing when you light the candle, you're going to want to pick a different candle to light. Let's see, there we go. I think that is, there we go. Okay, so you're going to want to pick a different candle to light if that is the case. There are some candles that can be toxic to cats, particularly candles that are made out of paraffin wax. These are older candles. They're kind of tricky to find, but you want to make sure that you're not using paraffin wax candles. The fumes from those are actually toxic and can cause cancer in people as well, so you don't want to light those and have those around the house. You also want to avoid candles that have essential oils in them, because essential oils can be toxic to cats if they ingest that. Now, you're going to say, well, why would my cat ingest a candle or lick the candle? And their answer is there's not a good reason. It's just because it's a cat. So we would not want them to be able to do that. Great non-toxic candle choices are candles that are made out of beeswax or out of coconut wax. Or out of, let's see here, I made a little note because I knew I was going to forget this other type of candle, or soy wax. So those are all non-toxic choices that you can use for your cat-safe candles. The other thing to remember is that candles have a little flame on them and they have hot wax. So we don't want them to be someplace where the curious cat is going to knock them over and get that hot wax on them, because that can give them a severe burn or potentially knock it over and start a fire. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring your cat and monitoring your candle. Never leave a candle unattended. And that is just basic candle safety. So there we go. Yes, you can have your candles. You need to keep a few things in mind to keep your kitten safe and keep you safe as well. But please do enjoy those. All right. Michael asks, can I use human eye drops on my 9-year-old cat? She occasionally has a squinty, watery eye with discharge that usually resolves in 4 to 5 days. This has happened about 4 times over 2 years. Do I need specialized cat eye drops or can I safely treat it at home? You do not want to use human products on animals, and particularly on cats. In the case of eye drops, the human eye drops have a dosage of whatever over-the-counter medication is in them. It's a dose for people. So that dose is likely going to be very, very high for a cat. And some of the things in eye drops can cause your cat to develop a very rapid heart rate and cause them to have a variety of other problems. So human eye things, human drugs are not dosed for cats, so you do not want to use them for cats. You do want to see your veterinarian and get something that is going to be safe for that particular issue and that is made specifically for cats. The only exception is that if you were to get plain saline eye drops, just moisturizing eye drops or rinsing eye drops, that would be the only safe thing that you could potentially put in your cat's eye that you would get over the counter at the pharmacy. Excellent question. Okay, here is a question that has just come in. Let's see here. All right, it says, "Hi, Dr. Stickney. There we go. I'm a little concerned about my cat's eating habits. I recently caught her trying to eat plastic, and a couple of weeks ago she actually threw up a piece of clear packing tape. When she was a kitten, she even chewed and swallowed paint and drywall. I stopped her this time before she swallowed much, but I'm worried this is becoming a pattern. Is there anything I can do to prevent her from wanting to eat non-food items like plastic or drywall? Should I be concerned about underlying medical issues, or is this mostly a behavioral thing? Okay, that is an excellent question. So dogs and cats are notorious for eating things that they are not supposed to. They chew up toys, they eat plastic, they eat nuts. My own personal dog once ate a clam that it found, a whole clam shell that it found, and I had to do surgery on my dog to take that clam out of its intestines because it got stuck there. So it is important that we keep an eye on things that cats or that our pets, or this cat in particular, is attracted to and wants to eat. So if they want to eat plastic, little things like that, we need to make very sure that we don't have that kind of thing lying around, because there's not really a whole lot you can do to tell them, don't do that. We just have to make sure that that it is not available to them. I had one of my technicians one time had a cat that liked to eat the little elastic hair ties, and she didn't realize it until one day the cat got really sick and stopped eating, and when we took x-rays of the cat, there were about 100 hair ties in its stomach that it had eaten over a period of months, because it would find the hair tie and just say, I'm going to eat this. And we had to do surgery to take that out. So we want to avoid that. We don't want to have any sort of a foreign body, anything that causes an obstruction in the gastrointestinal tract that we're going to need to do surgery. So we want to keep those types of things away from the pet. If you have a pet that you notice wants to eat things like that, make sure those things are not available for them. And then it's interesting that the cat also wants to eat and chew up drywall. That I've actually never heard that before, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. If your cat is on a high quality or a good quality commercial diet, and we are not suffering any kind of vomiting, diarrhea, or weight loss, then we probably do not have an underlying medical condition here. This is probably more of a texture thing where the cat there's something about that the cat finds attractive and likes the way that feels when it's chewing on it. I am going to recommend that we make sure that there is plenty of that there are plenty of things that are going on around your house to keep that cat interested and enriched and less interested in those types of things. So different kinds of cat toys, cat trees that they can climb around on, maybe a little bit of catnip here or there that the cat can find with those toys or on a cat tree that will make it curious and want to investigate those types of things, and keep the kitty busy doing things other than trying to eat stuff that it wants to eat that we don't want it to. That is an excellent question. Okay, good. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Erica writes in that my cat was spayed on the 27th. She's very energetic and a big jumper, so I've been terrified to leave her unsupervised. Yes, I understand. We've moved her bed to the ground and put her tower away, but she still tries to jump. I know cats should be confined during recovery, but in my small apartment, the only option is my bedroom. I'm exhausted and barely slept the first night, staying up 12 plus hours until someone could take over. Oh no. She's everything to me, and I don't want her to hurt her or our relationship. Do you have any suggestions on what I can do? Okay, so this is a great question, and this is a common problem because we have some type of a surgery or hurt our ankle or something like that, and we can be told, sit still, don't do anything, be still, take it easy, and most people will do that to some degree, but it's harder with animals, and especially with cats, because especially if they're young and kittens and just want to play all the time. So you have done everything correctly by putting her bed on the ground, putting her tower away, but she still wants to jump. So, yes, she is still going to do that. So what I will typically say is we want to encourage, not actively encourage them to play. So we want to limit their options. If the kitten is in your bedroom, so like the bed is the only thing the cat can jump on, that's probably going to be about the best thing that we can do. The only other option would be that potentially your veterinarian could prescribe some sedatives for your kitty so that she'd be more inclined to sleep. But my advice is that there's only so much we can control. And we are going to do everything we can right by the cat and limit what it can do. But at the end of the day, if the cat still wants to jump around a little bit, there's not a lot we can do about it. We can just do the best we can. So I would encourage you to please get some sleep. And at this point, let's see, if this was on the 27th, at this point your cat should be well on its way to healing up and should be able to get back to its regular routine soon. But you have done everything correctly, and it is not an easy thing to do, and it sounds like you're doing a great job. You should give yourself a pat on the back. Great question. Okay. So let's see. Sean writes in, what is your opinion on coat defense? That's coat defense, C-O-A-T, like a coat, and then defense, D-E-F-E-N-S-E, like defending yourself against raiders or something like that. I am wondering how vets feel about the coat defense powder to help treat a dog or cat with yeasty, itchy skin, ears, or paws. My dog hates the liquid ear cleaning fluid, and I was thinking about getting this to avoid further stress while keeping her ears clean. Ingredients include sodium bicarbonate, arrowroot powder, bentonite clay, cornstarch, and a specific essential oil such as peppermint oil for horses or cedarwood oil for dogs and cats. Okay, so here is my opinion. I think it is fine if it works, but if it's not doing the job, then it's time to see your veterinarian and see exactly what's going on. The other thing that I will say is that if you're using the powder does not belong in ears. So never put any kind of a powder in your pet's ear canal. If you're going to use it just on the outside of the ear, the flap of the ear pinna, that is great, but we don't want that powder to get down into the ear because that will be very, very irritating. The ingredients that are in coat defense are basically drying agents. So what they're doing is they're taking skin that may be dry, that may be moist, and moist skin tends to allow bacteria and yeast to grow, and it's drying out that skin, so it's making the local environment more difficult for bacteria and for yeast to survive. And that's how it's working. So I think that it's a fine thing to try. I think that it will work in some cases. I think in more complex cases it will not work. So I think it's fine to give it a shot. The essential oils, remember, those are not good for dogs and cats, so we do not want them to eat that, lick that, okay? So don't put that anywhere where they're going to be able to ingest that product. Great question. Okay, Kara writes in and says, my dog has been showing signs of separation anxiety whenever I leave the house. He paces, whines. I've tried leaving toys and treats, but it doesn't seem to help much. What are the best ways to help him feel more comfortable when I'm gone? And are there things I should be doing to prevent it from becoming worse? Okay, so this is a great question. Separation anxiety is a very common behavioral issue in dogs, and you're exactly right that the sooner that if we can get this get this under control before it gets worse, that is great. So here are a few things that you can do. If your pet is crate trained, I would recommend that you have a crate for your pet when you leave the house. This will tie into their den instinct from when that harkens back to when they were wild dogs roaming the plains. It gives them a little safe place to be where they will where they can rest and they have fewer options to be able to get nervous. So if you have a crate or a little kennel for them, that would be a great thing to do. Another thing is to toys and treats are fine. You may also want to leave a piece of clothing that you have worn so that it has your smell on it, and that may help to comfort them as well. Leaving a TV or a radio on may help them because of the background noise. It has been, studies have shown that classical music is the most soothing music for animals to listen to, and in animal shelter situations, animals that have classical music to listen to in the background have much lower stress hormone levels than those that don't. So that may be something you want to try as well. There are calming treats available at the pet store. You might want to try giving one of those before you leave the house and see if that makes a difference. Other things that you could do to help with the separation anxiety, if it's when you leave the house, is to do some desensitization, where you will do things like get up and act like you're going to walk out the door, but then you don't walk out the door. And that way the pet your dog will not, will start to associate, oh, just because she's going there doesn't mean that she's about to leave. I don't have to freak out about that. You can also do things like pick up your keys and jingle them, but still not go anywhere. So those little cues that your dog might notice that say, oh, she's about to leave, I'm going to get upset, turn into, oh, well, now there's nothing to get upset about because I heard that noise, but here she is. So those are all things that you may consider. If none of those things work, you'll want to see your veterinarian, and sometimes we have to prescribe some medications in cases of separation anxiety to help with those, to help those pets to relax and not become so anxious. All right, another question has come in here. What flea medicine do you recommend for cats over the counter? Nothing seems to work. I feel like I am just throwing away money. Okay, yeah, so I totally get that. So the first thing that I will say is that we have prescription flea medications at Spay Neuter Network that are going to be effective, and that will cost, that will be a very reasonable cost, so that you are not spending, so you don't feel like you're spending a whole lot of money, and we may even be able to offer it at prices that are less than what you can get at the pet store. So if you come to Spay Neuter Network, we can certainly vouch for any of those flea medications that we have. There are so many different flea medications for cats that are over the counter. Most of them are topical, meaning that you would put them between, on your cat's skin, between the shoulder blades, and that's how most of those work. There are a lot of them, and most of them should work to some degree, but if it is over the counter, remember that it is either an older product, and there are newer, more effective products available that you can get through your veterinarian or with us at Spay Neuter Network. And there are also, if they're over the counter, they may not have the same concentration, that'd be the same strength as something that you could get from us. So those are things to consider. Another thing to think about is that if you already have a flea infestation, you have fleas in your house, you have fleas in your yard, it may be 3 months before you no longer see fleas at all, because the way those medications work is that the fleas have to get onto the pet, and then they are either killed or they become made sterile, so that when they lay eggs, those eggs will not hatch. And what we're having to do is work through the life cycle of all of the fleas. So some of those fleas are going to hop on there and die, but there's going to be other flea eggs in the environment. They're going to hatch. So now I have a whole batch of new fleas that are going to need to get exposed to that medication as well. So before you say it's just not working, bear in mind that you're probably going to have to do 3 consistent months of it in order to see no more fleas at all anymore. And I know that is frustrating, and that you want to see something happen right away. But it will, if you already have a well-established flea population, it is going to take some time. Okay, let's see here. We're going to do one more question and then we'll wrap it up here for the day. And this comes in from Shelley, who asks about how to overcome a pet's allergy. If so, how? Please help. She says that she has 3 cats with mystery itching and 2 with eye irritation. Could it be food, plants, fragrance? What do you recommend to do first? Okay, so the answer is yes. It could be all of those things. It could be none of those things. So this is a great question. Itchy animals there can be so many things that cause that. But here in Texas, we always are going to start with controlling fleas. So if we have an itchy animal, we always want to start with flea control and get that under control first, because that is one of the most common causes. And it is in Texas, especially here in San Antonio, and pretty much almost anywhere in Texas, fleas are just out of control. So, and they only spend about 5% of their time on the pet, so you may not actually even see them. And if you have an animal that is allergic to fleas, then one flea bite will drive them absolutely crazy. So that is where I would start before I started to worry about too much else. That would be the first thing that I would do. That is an excellent, excellent question. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today at Spay Neuter Network's Ask the Vet Live in collaboration with Good Charlie Energy. Check out all the links here on our Facebook page for things that are going on at Spay Neuter Network. Check out the links for Good Charlie Energy. Through them, if you use them as a provider, you will have access to Vet 24/7 all the time to talk to about any issues that you may have with your pet, and they also have a discount pharmacy. Please feel free to leave any questions here for the next time that we come on live in about a month. In the meantime, everybody, please have a great September. Thank you so much. Have a great day.